Hey guys, welcome back to What Was Mommy Thinking? My name's Crystal. I'm a full-time working mom. If you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any of the fun. If you're already a subscriber, thanks for being back. Today we're going to continue with my low-income weekly grocery for less than $50 series, and we're going to do a Walmart only shopping list for today. So stick around and let's see what we get into.
We got time, but no money. But there ain't nobody stopping us. We got bills, but no dollars. But now we don't really give up. No, we don't really give up. Living for the ray of light. Life can be beautiful. Life can be beautiful. Going all the way tonight, making it beautiful.
Alright everybody, let's see what we've got going on this week. I'll move a couple of these things over. This is my Big Happy Planner. This is where I keep my copy of the things that she is working on. If you've watched this series, this looks very familiar to you. And we're going to go back to these meal plans. So we noticed this week when we were doing it that we've been now doing this for several weeks. So I thought just for fun I would flip through some of the previous meal plans and we would take a look at how much things have changed. This week we didn't do so great as far as me writing everything out, but we got her taken care of. This was the 15th through the 21st, the 22nd through the 28th. Last week, the 29th through the 5th, and I did this on just a note sheet of paper. It worked out so much better for me for tracking purposes, so that this week I just used the back of that same sheet of paper. So, let's take a look. If you'll see here at the top, you're going to see that her grocery budget is $46.75 each week. Her eating out budget is $17.50. So none of that is news to any of us, right? However, what is changing, oops, sorry, I hit the camera, you guys. Klutz. Okay, so what is new is under her meats, meals, and miscellaneous that have been carried over. Look at all of this. I'm just so impressed with her. So she carried over several, I think it was 6 or 7 hand bean soups, 4 turkey tetrazzinis, 3 turkey casseroles, 3 of the 2 packs, just 2 pieces really, it's not a 2-pack, but 2 chicken breasts, 2 breakfast bowls, 2 breakfast burritos, 1 breakfast bowl, 1 pound of ground beef, and 1 package of chicken that was 6 pieces of skin on, bone in, thighs, and legs. So these blue check marks mean that we've used those in our meal plan this week. So she's trying to use up some of her stuff that she has in her freezer. Number 1, because she needs the space back in her freezer, and number 2, because she wants to try and get more of her wants list and use what she has. So for meal ideas this week, she wants to do a batch of egg frittatas, which takes a dozen eggs and some veggies and stuff. So she's got that. She does add cheese to hers, which sounds amazing. And then she wants to eat up those breakfast burritos and breakfast bowls that are left in the freezer. So we put how many we had of those. For lunch, she's going to have leftover roses, leftover ham sandwiches, and leftover freezer meals. For dinner, she's going to make a ham with some mashed potatoes and green beans. She wants that ham bone again to put in the freezer, and she wants to dice some ham for the freezer, and she wants to have some sliced ham for the freezer. So when we priced out lunch meat, it's almost $10 for 1 pound of sliced lunch meat ham. When we looked at how much it would cost to buy a spiral ham, it was 3 pounds for a little over $12. But I'll show that to you guys here in a minute. So she triples the meat for just a little bit more money. Then she's going to have her roses, and she's also going to go to Keller Burgers with a girlfriend of hers on Friday night. And then she wants to make, with this 6 pieces of chicken, shake and bake chicken with mac and cheese and corn, and she says that is a comfort meal for her. So much obliged to do that for her. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here and see if I can scoot this up so that we can look at just the menu portion. Let me see here. Come down. Maybe scoot over. Okay. Whoop. All right, so I'm going to scoot all this over just a bit. So she's got her breakfast, lunch, and dinner mapped out for every single day. If it's an eat out, we put out how much of her eating out budget that was going to consume. As you can see, she's got $17 out of her $17.50 here. And she knows these prices because these are things that she does pretty regularly. So she's got her frittatas every other day, and then she threw her breakfast bowls and breakfast burritos in between and added fruit each morning for breakfast. Her lunches are leftovers. There's her leftover roses, ham bean soup, leftover Keller burgers, turkey casserole leftovers, ham sandwich, which will be not a leftover from the freezer, but just from one of the dinners, a turkey tetrazzini, and then another ham sandwich and chips. And up here, of course, as we make out the menu, we make a list of the things that she already has that we don't need to purchase. She already had those chips. So the only main things that she has to cook, and remember our goal is to keep it to 3 or 4 items that she has to cook each week. So this week she'll be cooking shake and bake chicken, she'll be cooking a ham, and she'll be cooking those egg frittatas. So not too terribly bad. So for dinners, the Keller burgers, we'll do dinner one night and leftovers the next day. For the roses, it'll serve 3 meals because she buys 2 of those platters that has the 3 tacos and the beans and rice in it, and that lasts her for 3 meals. And let's get into the grocery list. So for fruit, she wanted to have strawberries, apples, oranges, and bananas, but when we got in there and we looked at the price of them, oh, hang on, let me scoot this down. Y'all can't even see that. Okay. When we got in and looked at the price, we had to make a decision. Strawberries were on sale at Kroger, but that was really the only thing that was cheaper at Kroger this week. So did she want to go to Kroger's just for strawberries, or did she want to not buy strawberries because they were pretty expensive at Walmart? So she decided this week, no strawberries. She's getting apples and oranges and bananas, which is great. Then for veggies, she needed onions and bell pepper for her frittatas, and she decided to buy the frozen chopped up bell pepper and chopped up onion because it comes in a 10-ounce bag, and she'll be able to portion just a little bit out of those for what she needs for the frittatas, and then it'll be more sustainable as far as keeping them in the freezer for future batches. And then she wants some potatoes to make mashed potatoes. Then for dairy, she wanted some more cream cheese and some eggs. For meats, she's going to have either bacon or sausage and the ham, which is the big purchase for the week. For her pantry, she needed some more shake and bake, some bagels, some gravy mix. She wanted 1 pack of country, 1 pack of brown, some mac and cheese, and some canned mushrooms. She said that she's been eating these bagels with this chive and onion cream cheese sort of as a snack or as a treat, and she's really liking it. As far as her wants goes, she'd like to have some more tuna to put in her stock in her pantry. She'd like to have another thing of ice cream. She would love to have a package of those Rhodes dinner rolls so she could just take out 1 or 2 when she makes her shake and bake or her ham and have those on hand. She'd like to have some cinnamon rolls and some biscuits to keep in the refrigerator for a special treat or to add with any of her breakfasts. We put sausage down here, but it was already up top. Some canned veggies for the pantry stock, and bread, so she doesn't have to bake bread this week, and maybe a 2-liter of soda. As you can see in our notes, we crossed out the 2-liter of soda because it was $1.78 and it was too pricey. That was her decision. And for the sausage, we already had it up here on the list. So this is everything for her for the week, and it covers everything that you see here, plus gives her some extra food to have, like the bagels and the cream cheese. And there's no plans for the sausage, but she thought that the sausage and the biscuits might be a good breakfast to have for next week. Same with the bagels and the cream cheese. Most of that stuff is stuff that she can hang on to. And I think for next week, based on the conversation that we were having, she's planning on doing like overnight oats, sausage biscuits, and some overnight oats, sausage biscuits, and then the bagels and cream cheese with fruit. So I can see her mind starting to plan almost a week ahead, which is so amazing to kind of organically watch that happen, where she's not just planning for this week, she's starting to think of how she can maximize her grocery budget this week and have it for next week. So I'm loving being a part of this process with her, and I'm hoping that we get to do it for a couple more weeks before she says, hey girl, I got this, I can fly on my own, call you if I need you. So let's flip over to my computer and I will show you what we chose out of this, which ones we chose, so that you'll get an exact cost breakdown and you'll know where we came in with the budget. So here we have good old-fashioned Walmart.com. We're going to go through and we're going to put all of these items into the cart that we need, and we're kind of going to go in the order that you saw on the list. For apples, she did want to get 3 of the Gala apples. She's been loving those, and they are still the cheapest. They are 58.5 cents per pound. So we're going to grab 3 of those. She wanted 2 more of those navel oranges. She said that they were really, really good, and but they're big. She said she kind of had to eat a half of one and eat the other half for later in the day. So she only wants 2 of those. And then she wants 4 bananas, which is pretty much her staple. She's kind of gotten into a groove with that, which is really cool. So we're going to add those 4 bananas. And for fruit right now, we're sitting at a subtotal of about $3.21. So she's done really, really well there. Then as far as her veggies go, we're going to find a bag of potatoes. And she just wants to make mashed potatoes, so she doesn't need like 5 pounds or anything. And she said that the last time she bought potatoes like that, they actually went bad. So when we went looking for potatoes, we were looking for just a small 3-pound bag, and we weren't able to find that. So we came over here to the russet baking potatoes, and since they're just under a pound, they're about half a pound a piece, we decided to get 4 of those, and it comes out to just under $2. Then we saw that these 5-pound potatoes were $2.27. So she wanted to make a decision on whether or not she should spend the extra 37 cents, get more potatoes, but then what can you do with it? So we found a recipe online for a way to make loaded mashed potatoes and freeze them. So that's what she decided to do. We went over and took these out and added the 5-pound bag. And I will try to remember to link the recipe for those freezable potatoes. I got a recipe out of my Seriously Good Freezer Meal cookbooks that you guys have seen on my videos so many times. And that's also where her breakfast bowl recipe came from. So if I can find it and link it, I will do that for you. All right. So for the other veggies, she decided to just get the chopped onions. Chopped onions. She decided to get chopped onions and peppers out of the frozen food section and I think they were like $1. Here they are, $1.16. So she wanted to be able to control how much pepper and how much onion went into each one. So she got them separately. And then she's going to use jar mushrooms. Here's those frozen peppers. So we've got 1 bag of the peppers and 1 bag of the onions. And it literally only takes a couple of ounces of each of these when you're making frittatas. So this is going to last her through like 4 or 5 batches of frittatas, or if she decides to use some in like an omelet or a scramble, she can do that as well. So then we move along to our chive and onion cream cheese that she is loving on the bagels. She did have some with some leftover celery and loved that, which is kind of why she's out and needs more. So we're going to grab that for her. And she also needs eggs. So it takes a dozen eggs to make the frittatas. When we were pricing things out, we looked at the price of eggs in a dozen and then also again in an 18 count. And this is one of those times where you kind of have to really look at it because this says 6 cents an ounce. This says 11.7 cents each. And if you're not paying attention to the ounce or the each, you would think that this is a better deal when it actually isn't, but they're not that far apart. I think this one came out to like 12.1 cents and this is 11.7. So she had to make the decision whether she was only making the frittatas or did she want a few extra eggs to have in case she wanted a bagel sandwich or something along those lines, or maybe a scramble. So we decided to do the $2.11 eggs. So for sausage, she got a roll of the Great Value brand right here, the Great Value Original Premium Sausage for 16 ounces here. And then we go to the ham. So she decided to get this $12.71 ham. It is a boneless spiral cut honey ham. So that means she's not going to have a ham bone left over for ham bean soup. And we had that discussion, and she decided that she would just take kind of like the back portion here and make soup if she wanted to. Otherwise, she was just going to use this ham for other purposes. The reason being, when she looked at the type that had the bone in, it went up a lot in price, and she didn't want to do that. And then it was the same price per pound. They're both $4.18, but you're paying for that bone. And she decided that for right now, she didn't want to do that. She was going to go with this. And then she got really excited because $4.18 a pound was so much cheaper than buying ham in the deli, which you can see here is almost $7 a pound. So this was the ham she decided to get. And there's tons of ways to use leftover ham and to dice it up and freeze it and all of those things. So that's what she's going to be doing there. So then she needed another package of shake and bake. And 2 of them is $3. So there's extra crispy, Parmesan crusted, all of that. She chose the extra crispy this time. And then she needed some mac and cheese. And she went all out, y'all. She chose Velveeta, and here she schooled me a little bit on the Velveeta shells and cheese. She swears that as far as box packaged mac and cheese go, that the Velveeta ones reheat better if you put just a teaspoon or so of milk in them to reheat them, that they come out perfect. So I didn't know that. She educated me there. So on the bagels, she just wants the $1.50 pack of the Sam's bagels, which are going to hide from me. So typically if I click on anything Sam's brand, it'll pull them up. Look at that. There they are. So little trick of the trade. If you're looking for these, sometimes they don't pop up right away. If you'll just pick something else that's Great Value brand, they typically pop up down here where it says similar items. So we'll get her bagels for her. And then she needs gravy mix. 1 pack of country, 1 pack of brown. She really enjoys the Pioneer mix. So we're going to get both of those in the Pioneer, 1 brown, 1 country. She's going to make both of those and use those with her ham, just depending on what she wants to have with it. And then she needs some canned mushrooms. So we're going to grab the small can for 54 cents. And that is it for her needs. So if you look at our subtotal, we're at $35.30 for what we need this week. So let's get into our wants. For me, the bread was a priority because that gave her a break from having to cook something else. So let's grab her the 88 cents bread, and that's actually what she chose. And then the cinnamon rolls and the biscuits, I thought was just a great idea because that's a little splurge for her. So they ended up being $1.23, and I can't remember if she chose cream cheese or regular. We're just going to throw one in since they're the same price. And then for the biscuits, they were $1.06 for a whole can, and she chose, I think it was buttermilk, but it was the smaller biscuits because she wanted to put sausage on them. Yes. So down here, she chose to get 2 cans of the smaller biscuits, and these ones are they're the little ones. So when you patty out your sausage, if you're going to have sausage and biscuits, these work out great. So she got 2 of those. And then we went on to find the Rhodes Rolls. Now, I'm a huge fan of these things. You get 36 of them for $3.97. And if she's only pulling out 1 or 2 per meal, this is going to last her a really long time. So we went ahead and got those. Then she wanted her ice cream. So she picked out 1 flavor of ice cream, and she went very traditional this week and got the vanilla bean. There it is. Vanilla bean ice cream, because she has some cookies and things at home that she wants to crush and put in it as toppings. She wanted a can of tuna for her pantry staples. So we did the $1.60 12-ounce can that's right here. And then she wanted some canned vegetables. And if you've watched before, Walmart's canned vegetables are 50 cents a piece. So I asked her what she wanted to get, and she chose to get a can of corn. And I'm not seeing it, which is not surprising at all, is it, guys? All right, so somewhere there is a 50-cent can of corn. Let me maybe put corn in. And it is the Great Value brand. And I'm not seeing it at all. Maybe they're out of it already. My gosh, we just did this. Yep, it's down here. So if you look at their corn, it is normally 50 cents per can, but since they're out of it, we'll just grab a can of green beans or peas or something so that you get the price and you see kind of where we're at with it. So we'll grab a 50-cent can of peas. So when you go to, sorry, y'all. When you get here, you're at $46.41. And because all of this is food, our tax is going to be lower. She has a budget of $46.75. If I click to continue to check out, I'll just have to fake a pickup time so that we can get a total. Her grand total came to $46.53, you guys. That is legitimately 22 cents under budget. And she got all of her needs and most of her wants. The only thing that we weren't able to get off of her wants list was a 2-liter of soda because it was expensive. And she also put 2 items in her pantry, and she also pre-purchased prep things for next week's breakfast and bought a couple of things that are going to last her over several meals, like the Rhodes Rolls and the chopped peppers and the chopped onions. So overall, I think she did a fantastic job this week. I think that she's starting to look ahead and to plan ahead and look at what she has in her pantry. And it was really a positive thing for her because this week she was able to say, I'm seeing my pantry go down and it's making me really happy. Like I feel like I have more control over how much I have and how I'm going to use it. So that is it for this week, you guys. She came in right at budget or just a few cents under budget for the week for both her grocery and her eating out. If you have any other meal ideas for her, or if you want to leave any feedback, please leave it in the comments section below. And until next time, guys, I hope you're having an amazing day. Be well, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.